Well, hello there, people with the internet, and hello again. I'm DDLC. Welcome to part, I think this is 5 of my Doki Doki Lost Ascension Let's Play series. In the previous episode, I absolutely don't remember. I believe Sayori was thinking about her relationship with MC, I think. It's been a few weeks since I played, so I don't really remember. So yeah, also by the way, if you're wondering why am I wearing a bathrobe, are you naked or something underneath? Well, yeah, no, I'm not naked underneath. But I am fucking cold. So that's why I'm wearing this bathrobe in the meantime, because my hands are freezing. Like, if they were any colder, then they would be stuck in this position, you know? So I'm extremely cold, so that's the reason for the bathrobe, so don't mind me. My alarm went off, causing me to shoot up. This is Sayori, of course. I practically slammed my alarm into my nightstand as I hugged my legs. Where was I? Who am I? What am I? Alright, I'm in my room, and at one point was sleeping peacefully. I pulled over Mr. Cow and... I've read Crow for some reason. Mr. Cow and hugged him tightly as I yawned, the reality of yesterday beginning to set in. All of my confused thoughts from then were as I expected, completely sorted out. Today is going to be even better than yesterday, I can feel it. I knew it would be, especially with how wonderful everyone was. I set Mr. Cow back into his respective spot before getting out of bed and heading over to my dresser. I pulled out a new set of school clothes and smiled at them. I rubbed them on my face, feeling the soft fabric brush up on my skin. They were surprisingly soft, a perfect way to wake up. I got changed prior to heading downstairs, smiling at the early morning sun as it graced me with its warmth. I walked into the kitchen and clapped my hands together as the perfect meal came to mind once again. Eggs and toast, of course. I said it out loud to nobody in particular. That was the best breakfast in the whole wide world and nobody can convince me otherwise. Well, eggs and... yeah, well... I was gonna say English breakfast, but there are eggs and toast in an English breakfast, so, you know. But yeah, I do agree that eggs and toast... I don't make it at all. Like, I can't even remember the last time I ate it as breakfast or as lunch or whatever. Because I don't make it often, but it is very nice. But English breakfast is very nice as well. With the sausage and the beans and the bacon and the egg and the toast. That's like one gut-punching way to start your freaking day. English breakfast. But it is delicious. I went to the fridge and pulled out the eggs, humming to myself as I went around and got my breakfast set up. I stayed 100% focused on my meal, knowing I could perfect it. Okay, I'm mostly focused on my meal. I kind of burned my eggs a little bit, but they still tasted really good. I finished up my meal and put the dishes into the sink, making a mental note to handle this later. I sighed happily as I went over to the front door and grabbed my bag, strapping it over my shoulders. I glanced back for a moment, eyeing over the kitchen. I wasn't going to let my house burn down. Satisfied with the way it looked, I went outside with a skip to my step. Again, if you know that everything is fake, then you know that that backstory of you burning your house down is also fake. So that doesn't really make a lot of sense that you're still reminiscing and then at the same time having an existential crisis about the exact same thing. I looked back at my home and tilted my head slightly, wondering how long it took to make it exist. What? At my home! Okay, I looked back at my home and tilted my head slightly, wondering how long it took to make it exist. Still a weird sentence, but okay. It's still my home, isn't it? Even if it isn't entirely real or anything. I turned and took in the fresh morning weather as I began... No. As I began to slowly walk down my steps. Oh, Monica said I had to walk with him to school today. I wonder if he really looks the way Monica described him. I turned and hid in the bushes for a moment, making my hair a bit more messy as I waited for him to finally appear. What was that, yellow? Oh, okay, that's me, I guess. The game, it's changed. I could tell just from the scene outside. Oh, that's not me. This is MC that just so happens to bear my name. Like this, like anytime when you put your name on the MC, it's basically not you. It's the MC that just happens to have your name. But in this case in particular, because it is so completely disconnected from any other mods I've played so far, you know, this is not the MC going, you know, it's all the characters being self-aware, having fucking thoughts and plans and whatnot, and the whole, like, the player is disconnected way more from the MC than in any other mod that I've played so far, so it's just a coincidence that he's bearing my name, but okay. So this is the MC talking, I guess. I could tell just from the scene outside of his house, something was poking out of a bush. His? Okay. There was a length of rope, assumedly from the ditzy neighbor. I could be wrong, it could just be a symbol of surrender. But that doesn't really matter. The main thing was, if Sayori was still there or acting the same. For a moment I was expecting a drastic change in character, at least up until that same old text came up. Hey! I could see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. Look, here is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend. No, childhood friend, that's wrong. Since we were children. Oh, I don't know, I can't remember. I thought it said childhood friends, but then if it says childhood friends, since we were children, doesn't really make sense. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. I sighed audibly as I leaned back in my chair. Yeah, okay, so that is me all of a sudden, like... This makes no sense either, because... That is my thought, technically, but it's the MC thinking it. So isn't the MC its own character? It's a different character. Doesn't he have his own thoughts? I was starting to get genuinely disgusted by this point. Why can't they ever do anything and... Whoa, Sayori tripped, landing face first on the pavement. A quiet sob came from her as she sat up. She was rubbing her cheeks, trying to nurture them. Meanie, why didn't you catch me? She was looking up at him, a sour look on her face as she stood up and brushed herself off. Let's just go, okay? She stuttered a little bit as she stormed off past him in the direction of the school. To my amazement, the MC seemed entirely unfazed by this, acting like this was part of the normal game. I sat back and watched for once I was actually interested in whatever Monika had planned out. So you know? About... what? I wonder what she did this time. She tried many things before, but this seems a bit extreme. Messing with Sayori? What else did she learn? What the fuck? This all... what the freaking hell? It's just so beyond comprehension. Like, that's MC, but it's the thoughts of the player, which, you know, they're dictating what I'm thinking, technically. And it's in the thought box of the MC, but the MC is apparently not reacting to anything, even though that's his own character, so they should also have some thoughts of their own. And then apparently he knows that Monika is trying. Like, what the fuck? This, like... oh my god, this hurts my head to think about. He's sleeping. I watched him from the safety of the window in the door. He was staring off into space, seemingly lost in his thoughts. I sighed as I opened the door, hearing him mutter about the anime club. No wonder I always thought of him as in need. I approached him and cleared my throat to get his attention. Mark? Oh, that's me, I guess. That's the first time I've seen the MC. He suddenly looked at me, way faster than I would have ever expected. His eyes were fixated on me with a strange condescending glare. I swallowed my nervousness, trying to ignore the overall feeling of dread as I looked at him. I thought I would catch you coming out of class, but I just saw you sitting in here. I laughed nervously, trying to stay true to the script thing that I could feel writing itself in my head. You'll need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. I shook my head. Well, I thought you could use some encouragement, so maybe I could take you to my club today. I put on my best smile, hoping to be in character. Sayori, I know the response to this, don't I? There's no way I'm going to your club. I pouted immediately, even though I knew that was coming. It was honestly annoying how he was acting. Yeah, meanie. He seemed to contemplate for a moment. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. I internally screamed. Please, come on. I kinda told the others you would be coming. Plus, Natsuki made cupcakes. If she forgot to make cupcakes, I don't know what I'll do. Don't make promises you can't keep. He sighed audibly. Man, it always annoys me when he does that. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? I forced my bright smile as I clapped my hands together. Yes, let's go right now. I turned around and rushed out of the room, his presence following me close behind. A shudder ran down my spine from his eyes staring me down hard. I couldn't even see him, I could just feel it. Alright, Natsuki. Please just remember the plan, okay girls? Monika said it sternly. I had never seen her look so nervous and serious at the same time before. Please, Monika, you know we can handle it, right? Yuri said it quietly as she shifted nervously in her seat. Monika letting out a sigh. Yuri was looking mildly uncomfortable, having to wait for this scenario to play out. She kept shooting me glances. Yeah, Monika, you know we can handle whatever comes up. I doubt he's going to be any trouble. You know exactly that he won't be any trouble at all, because he is not. You didn't make the MC character self-aware. You know that he is gonna follow the script exactly to the fucking letter. Why are you wondering? Why are you wondering as if he's going to do something differently? You know for a fact that he's not going to. Because the only reason why that would have happened is if Monika gave him self-aware skills as well, but Monika didn't. Because for some reason the girls think the MC is responsible for all the bad things. Even though that's not true. As a matter of fact, the only person responsible for all the bad things is Monika. And just because she has a change of heart does automatically make the MC the bad guy. If it makes anyone other than Monika the bad guy, it would be the game developer. Not the MC, not the player, it would be the person that coded the game. Because they're all pissed, well, Monika and all the other girls are all pissed off because, you know, Monika kept messing with the other girls, forcing them to kill themselves and then deleting Natsuki and stuff. They're all like very torn up about that. And for some reason they all blame the MC for that. But the MC is also a victim of that. Because he's also just doing what the code tells him to do. Just like what Monika is doing. Monika is also just doing what the code tells her to do, technically. Not really, of course, because, you know, the whole point of the original game is that, you know, Monika goes rogue, essentially. Doesn't follow her own code, and then because she is self-aware. But, you know, that's technically what happens, but of course, the fact that Monika goes rogue is programmed in, because, you know, that didn't just happen randomly or whatever. That happens in every single time you play the game on whatever computer. So technically Monika going rogue is also coded in the game, but you know like following the code is what they all do all the time, every time. And then for some reason they're all not pissed off at Monika, even though, you know, Monika is the one that is hurting them the whole time. But Monika just has a change of heart right now. It's like, okay, whatever. But then for some reason they blame the MC character. Not even the player, they blame the MC character for some reason. And also the player to some extent, but neither of them have any influence over what's going on. Even Monika knows that. Monika knows, like, in the beginning part of this mod, Monika was also talking about, oh, that code, I was disgusted of it, that I was forced to do the same thing every day. You know, she knows. She literally told us, or like, you know, like she literally said out loud that she was annoyed by that the code forced her to do various things. So she knows exactly that that is not the fault of the player or the MC. It's the fault of the code. And whose fault is it that the code is like that? The person who coded the game, which is the game developer. So why the hell are they angry at the player slash the MC character? They had just as much influence on the on what to do as you guys. And less even, because Monika managed to change the code entirely. Which is pretty amazing if you think about it. So why the hell were they all focusing on this ridiculously convoluted plan to get back on the MC character? You know? The person who is dictated by the code the most, who is the biggest slave by the code, so to speak, you know? Like, they all are, but the MC the most, because it's just doing what the character does, because not only is he forced to, follow the code the whole time, also he's not even allowed to make a single choice, because I am the one making the choice, the player is the one making the choices. So why would you be angry at that character? He's the biggest slave of the code out of all of them. And Monica even acknowledges in the beginning that it's that she was forced to do things by the code, so she knows that is the leading factor in all of this. And then she should also know that, someone who plays the game is also following the line, following the road that someone else laid out. So you should be angry, and if you're angry at that road, you shouldn't be angry at the person that follows that road. You should be angry at the person that built that road, which is the game developer. So, I feel like their anger is humongously misplaced. Misplaced in by far the worst case possible. It is so ridiculously misplaced. It's so insane. And the others go along with it as well. So easily. They also forgive Monica just like that. And also, by the way, the MC they're not even... they all seem to forget the fact that the MC has to watch his friends die over and over and over again. And can't do anything about that either. So, where's the sympathy for him? Alright, I'll take your word on it. I can trust you too. Monica went up to her podium and sat down at it, writing in her notebook. I reached down and pulled out the first volume of my favorite manga, Parfait Girls. I opened it up and felt a smile come across my face as I looked at the first page. No matter what Yuri says, manga is literature. I pouted to myself as I thought about ways to convince her that it was literature. At least until I heard loud footsteps approaching the door. Sayori was being unnecessarily loud again. Oh, Sayori. Monica looked at the door and brushes herself off in preparation. Yuri and I glanced at one another for a moment. Okay, everyone, just remember what we practiced, please. I swallowed my nervousness and stood straight up, my arms going to my sides. Is this natural enough? Too natural? It felt weird now that I was thinking about it. Bring it. I stared at the door with intent as Sayori busted in, practically screaming out her next line. Everyone, the new member is here! Monica smiled brightly while Yuri seemed taken aback by the sudden loud noise.